Good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the Home Weather Office on this Tuesday morning. It is the 29th day of August, 2023. This is the morning briefing coming to you from my home office where we have bright blue skies outside. It's another nice morning. Going to be another warm day, but we do have some changes ahead for the next 36 hours. And then beyond that, there'll be even bigger changes. A lot to get through, and also have the latest on Hurricane Idalia, and which should be making landfall about 24 hours from the time I'm recording this. So first thing on Wednesday morning, we'll be seeing landfall. But let's start with what's happening in California, specifically Northern California. We have clear skies, not much marine layer this morning. There is a bit down here towards Santa Cruz and Monterey and Salinas. But our flow is beginning to turn from the north. And if you look here, you see there is a lot of smoke up here. And this smoke is a little bit farther south and a little bit farther east than what we saw yesterday at this time. And you have the Smith River complex here, which is over 70,000 acres. And you have another couple of complexes in here in Siskiyou County that are in the 15,000 acre-ish range. Either way, getting a lot of smoke. First thing in the morning, it really lays down into the valleys. But with the flow turning from the north, the fear here is we're going to see some of that smoke come farther to the south. Right now, we have smoke in Redding. There are the Sutter Buttes, just for reference here. So once you get north of the Sutter Buttes, that's where you start to get into some of the smoke, especially north of Butte County. But you can see that it is on the move. Look at this little plume of smoke right here. That area is already being impacted by a north wind. We'll see a light north wind come down the valley this afternoon and a stronger north wind overnight and early on Wednesday morning. So this smoke is on the way. Let me show you the wind. So this is from the CANSAC model, and this is tonight. And these areas highlighted in orange indicate where the winds are going to be gusty. Now, yesterday, PG&E came out and said they were going to turn off the power today to some folks, especially in Shasta, Tehama County, but a few in Colusa and just a couple in Yolo County. And those are basically the areas that you see highlighted here. Those are sustained winds around 20 miles an hour. But once you get to areas like Marysville, Sacramento, Stockton, Modesto, there'll be a north breeze, but nothing howling. As I scroll through another couple of images here. This is 8 o'clock on Wednesday morning. It'll be gusty in Yolo County. It'll be gusty on the west side of the valley. But once you get to the east of I-5, the winds are going to be generally light. So this is not going to be a widespread north wind event. But it is because of that north wind that PG&E has taken a preventative step to shut off power in some of these locations for the increased fire danger we will see. But as you can see, it is not going to be a widespread north wind event. And let's go ahead another couple of frames here. This is Wednesday afternoon at 2 o'clock. You can see the north wind, especially in Yolo County, decreasing. And then by Wednesday night, this is 8 o'clock in the evening, the wind is still out of the north, but it is decreasing. So it's going to be a pretty short-lived event. But with that north flow, we talked about the smoke. Let's put those two together. So this is the HRRR smoke model. Here's California here, and this is looping over the next 48 hours. And this is Wednesday, and then you can see how the smoke clears as we get into Wednesday night. Let's back this up again. This is Tuesday, so this is what the smoke we're seeing today, probably turning hazy in many areas today, and then the thickest smoke would be Wednesday morning. That's what that time frame is. And there's a chance we could get smoke all the way down toward Bakersfield, really, but it may be thin. I'll tell you, the tough thing about this model is it really is difficult to tell whether or not you're just going to have haze or if you're going to have thick, dense smoke where you really can't see across the street. I think it's going to be somewhere in between, but either way, Wednesday is probably going to be a bad air quality day. And temperatures up around 100 degrees on Wednesday, that'll be the least pleasant day we will see. But a shift in the wind on Thursday will clear all of that out. And by Friday, we're talking about highs in the upper 70s and low 80s with even the chance of some rain. So big changes coming for the day on Friday. All right, let's shift gears a little bit. Let's talk about the hurricane. Idalia now is a hurricane, and what you're looking at here is 1 minute imagery. So that's why you don't see big dynamic moves here, but this is 1 minute imagery, meaning every frame is just 1 minute. Here are the Florida Keys here. Miami is right in here. Tampa is right up here. So as I'm recording this, the 8 o'clock update from the National Hurricane Center, It does have this with winds of either 80 or 85. We'll see that here in a second. But it's a Category 1 hurricane now, and now that it has cleared Cuba, which is down here, it is now starting to take on that classic shape, and later on today we should start to see a very well-defined eye wall. Here are the stats from the National Hurricane Center. Again, the 8 o'clock our time update, the 11 o'clock Eastern update. Winds of 85 miles an hour, moving north at 14. Last night it was only moving north at 8. And just like what we saw with the hurricane that impacted California, the forward speed is very helpful, meaning that it's good that it moves in and it moves out pretty quickly. That helps to minimize the amount of rain that you get in one area. However, it's still going to be a pretty bad storm. The hurricane here and then the M that you see here, that is major hurricane, so they're still forecasting it to be a Category 3 by the time it makes landfall here somewhere in the Big Bend of Florida. This track continues to be a little bit farther west than what they were thinking 24 hours ago. But still, those in Tampa will still be impacted, but it really does look more like the areas up toward the Big Bend, Apalachicola, and maybe down towards Cedar Key are going to be the areas that are going to be most impacted. Yesterday, I talked about how the west side of the storm is the side you want to be on. The east side is the side that is the most dangerous. Another way to look at that is this cool product that the Hurricane Center provides, and it is a storm surge map. Now, there is a key down in here, and let me move this so you can see the key. So this, when I'll zoom in on it, be able to see it a little bit better. So the red will be areas that are greater than 9 feet above ground will be inundated. And then it goes down to the orange and yellow and blue. If you see areas blue, it's just 1 foot above ground. So let me zoom in on this a little bit, and you'll see these areas in red. So let me go down to the south here. So this is Tampa, and you can see that around the bay, there are some areas in this blue and yellow, which means you could see 1 to 3 feet of storm surge, especially out here on the barrier islands. But then as you go farther to the north, north of Hudson, then you start getting into some of these areas that are in the red. And I think we're coming in on Cedar Key in here. Either way, this area up toward the Big Bend it's relatively swampy. It's not highly populated, but there are areas like Cedar Key, which I think again is right here, that are populated, and they're strongly urging people to leave. I mean, it's an evacuation warning, but some people are saying they're staying. It may not be a good idea. So then you go up here toward where the storm is going to make landfall, and you look on the west side of that. There's no storm surge, and so if the storm goes this way, and right in here, you'll see the storm surges on the east side of the storm. The other interesting thing is that even some of these inland rivers are impacted by storm surge as the wind comes this way. So again, that storm is likely going to be making landfall tomorrow morning our time, somewhere around 8 o'clock in the morning, midday local time. I'm sure that people are heeding the warnings and getting out of the way. And if by any chance you're watching this in Florida or Georgia, watch your local meteorologist for the details, so that they'll know the areas better than I will about where to get out of, where what areas are likely to be inundated, and the other precautions you should be taking today. For Northern California, still warm the next couple of days. We'll be in the 90s today, Wednesday, and Thursday, with some temperatures up around 100 degrees. We'll keep an eye on the smoke for first thing on Wednesday morning. We'll see just how bad that gets. But by Friday, like I said, we're talking about highs in the upper 70s to low 80s. It'll stay cool through Labor Day weekend, and we'll even be talking about the chances of some rain, especially in the northern Sierra on Friday. That may even provide some beneficial rain to areas where those fires are burning in the northern part of the state. So, like I said, a lot to get through this morning. That is your morning briefing. I'll be on KCRA tonight at 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, and 11. And because it's a Tuesday, I will be having a Facebook live chat tonight at 8 o'clock. And so we can talk about all of this, the smoke, the hurricane, and anything else that's on your mind. Have a great day. I'll talk to you later.